What is going on, everybody? My name is Kneeckoh, and welcome back to another Nintendo Switch video. We have been talking about a ton of free games on the channel lately. I've covered a ton of stuff, what I thought the best free game was. I talked about Fortnite, and that's another free game on the Switch. We've just been covering a ton of free stuff. One, because it's free. I want to show you guys games and basically tell you whether or not you should take the time out of your day to download them and actually play them. And then it costs you nothing to try a lot of these games. So I really like doing these videos, and I plan on compiling a list of the best ones. I've already done a list, and I will link that in the description below, of the best ones in my opinion, but I'm going to do 5 more of the ones that I really think stand out on the Nintendo Switch. But today, we are talking about one of the better first-person shooters on the Nintendo Switch, which is saying something because of the fact there just aren't a ton of first-person shooters on the Switch. I talked about Borderlands, the Legendary Collection on the Switch, which is a fantastic port. If you haven't checked that out, be sure to check that out. I'll link the video in the description below as well. And that game is fantastic, and there's other games like Overwatch and Paladins and things of that nature, but we don't really have that core military shooter until I've checked out this game, and that game is Warface. To describe it very easily, Warface is a very knockoff, not as well polished Call of Duty. However, don't dismiss it right off the bat just based on that description. This game is pretty good. I really enjoyed playing this game. I was not expecting a whole lot going into it, but I really ended up liking it. So Warface is a game developed by the people behind Crysis 3, which kind of surprised me considering this is a free game, and you can hop in, download it on Switch. It's fantastic, honestly. If you are looking for a good shooter fix and don't want to spend any money, this is going to do it for you. First off, there are some co-op missions where you can team up with other players, you can team up with your friends, whatever, and you go through these kind of linear. It almost reminds me of the style of those old arcade games where you would be kind of on rails and you'd go through and you'd point the gun at the screen and shoot. It's kind of like that. It also reminds me of terrorist hunts in old Rainbow Six games. It's a very fun little, like, I've got a couple minutes, I'm gonna hop in, do a level, and then continue. And there's a fair number of these throughout the game. You unlock more as you complete them, and they're actually pretty fun. I was pleasantly surprised by this. I was not expecting a whole lot coming out of the co-op section of this game, but that is a feature, and it's good time, honestly. Play through it, it's fun. However, this is where I think all first-person shooters shine, and that is in the multiplayer. And this game actually has good multiplayer. I was pleasantly surprised by the multiplayer. They have a ton of game modes, and there's the usual ones: team deathmatch, free for all. There's a plant the bomb one, stuff like that. Really cool stuff there, and it plays great. It's smooth. You're running around, you can slide, shoot, all that stuff. It is such a good time, and it is very much Call of Duty. It feels almost identical to Call of Duty. Obviously, it's not as smooth, but the gunplay is fine. I really enjoy the gunplay, and it's basically just rack up kills, and it was fun. I was pleasantly surprised by how fun this game was. And like I said, there isn't a ton of good first-person shooters on the Nintendo Switch, so seeing this game fill that gap and be free, it's fantastic, especially because we don't get Call of Duty ports on the Switch. We don't have a Call of Duty on the Switch. So if you're looking for that military-esque shooter, this is where you need to look. This game does it right. So when you boot up the game, you'll go through a bunch of different training scenarios. One shows you how to play as it gives you the basic controls. The others show you the different classes, so medic, assault, sniper, things like that. You go through a bunch of different tutorials, and then you can either do the co-op or the online mode. Like I said, I think the online mode is the way to go. Sniping feels good. They also include gyro controls, so if you want to control, similar to Splatoon and Overwatch, if you want to move your controller around to kind of get that precise aiming down, that is a feature as well, which is very much appreciated in this game. I really like that feature. Maps are fairly interesting. There's nothing very special about them. From my understanding, everybody just seems to go to the same lane. Nobody goes around all over the map. Everybody kind of just goes the same path and just fires and hopes they get kills. And I found myself sneaking around and just being able to light people up from behind, which I thought was hilarious and fun, but it's kind of silly. But the maps are nice, they look good, the game runs fantastic. I was really surprised at how well the game ran. It's nothing fancy or anything. It looks like a PlayStation 3 game, and I think it's capped at 30 frames, but it looks and runs just fine, and you're going to have a good time playing online. And with all the different game modes out there, there's a lot of variety here, and if you get tired of the PvP, you can hop back into the PvE stuff. Now, there is a Battle Royale mode, and I guess from what I've heard, it's only about 16 people on the map at a time, which doesn't necessarily sound like a battle royale to me. However, the load times were crazy long, so I never ended up actually getting into one. So I just played like the team deathmatch and the free-for-all and stuff like that, and I had a great time with those. If you manage to find a battle royale mode, or if you've played the battle royale, let me know in the comments if it's any good. I'd be interested in checking it out. But just the standard game modes that I was actually able to get in a game on, those were a good time, and I enjoyed myself with those. Now, there are microtransactions, of course. There's a bunch of different, like, cosmetic stuff. You could buy guns off the store, which I do think is a little pay to win. However, I never really felt compelled to buy a different gun or do anything like that. I just used the free guns, and I did fine in the multiplayer. I was still performing really well. So the guns really didn't matter. I don't like that you have to buy guns from the store. You can use an in-game currency, but I still think it's a little pay to win. There are also cosmetics and stuff. You can get different armors for your character. You can get different gun skins and things of that nature, which I think is cool as well. Now, the final thing, as I like to do in all of my Nintendo Switch reviews, is just compare between handheld versus docked. Now, honestly, this game plays great either way you decide to play the game. However, for me personally, I prefer having a Pro controller for playing first-person shooters. That's just me. You can play it just fine on a Switch Lite. I have no problem playing it on the Switch Lite, but for me, I think first-person shooters play 100 times better when you use a Pro controller. So I like to play it docked more personally, but there's no real noticeable performance differences between playing docked versus playing in handheld mode. So play this whether you have the Nintendo Switch or the Nintendo Switch Lite. It will not matter. All in all, when it comes to Warface, I think truly if you're looking for a traditional first-person shooter, that Call of Duty feeling game, you can't go anywhere else. This game feels the most like Call of Duty of any games that I have played on the Nintendo Switch, and like I said, it's worth your time. It's free. You lose nothing from downloading it, and it is a lot of fun. Now, this isn't just on Nintendo Switch. You can play Warface on other platforms like PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So if you're not a Nintendo Switch player and you want to check this out, this game's pretty good. I would recommend giving it a go if you don't want to drop the $60 on Call of Duty or anything like that. I really did have a good time playing this game, despite it being kind of a dumbed down version of those games. It's not as polished, it's not as clean feeling, but it is good fun nonetheless. So I'd recommend just giving it a go, like I said, if you don't have access to one of those other games, because it is a good time. But that is pretty much going to do it for this video, guys. I just wanted to talk about Warface very briefly here. I hope you found this video entertaining and helpful, and if you did, be sure to leave a like and smash that subscribe button for more videos like this in the future. Be sure to share the video with your friends. Let's grow this community here on the channel. Speaking of community, we have a community Discord, people over there playing Animal Crossing, Pokemon, and a bunch of Switch stuff, so check that out if that's something that interests you. I do stream over on Twitch as well. It's been a lot of Pokemon and Animal Crossing stuff. I've been very tempted to stream Destiny because I recently hopped back into Destiny and I've been loving it to death, so I may be streaming some Destiny here in the near future, so check that out if that's something that interests you. All my other social media should be on screen here at this point, so if you're interested in keeping up with me, this channel, the second channel, anything like that, be sure to check me out there as well. But like I said, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video.